Reading against Bristol City among the highlights on the Football League show. That's at 5 to midnight. Now on BBC One, it's final score time with Gabby Logan.
Reading 2, Bournemouth 0, Grosvenor 0.
West Ham United 0.
Trying to avoid relegation.
He was one of the heroes of the afternoon.
Applause from the away supporters. Go!
The latest score is Wimbledon through to the final.
John Terry's tears, we all remember. It was 2 crucial weeks.
Hello and a warm welcome to you on this crisp but chilly Saturday afternoon, which is as it should be. It's FA Cup fourth round weekend, and we've got that covered as well as all the action across the leagues and divisions. Matt Holland and Steve Claridge know just what it's like to love and lose in the FA Cup. You'll hear from them in a moment, but here's the story of the fourth round so far today. And it's Blackpool 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. An upset in store at Bloomfield Road. Clinton Morrison giving the League One Wednesday the lead. Bolton 2, Swansea 1. Goals from Darren Pratley against his former club. Chris Eagles as well have turned the game round for Bolton. They had trailed to Luke Moore's deft finish. Derby are trailing by a Stoke goal to 0. So it's so far so good for last season's runners-up. Cameron Jerome with the goal there. Crawley Town have the lead at the KC Stadium. This is shaping up to be the story of the day. 45 places separate these two sides, the largest gulf in the fourth round, but an 18th goal of the season from Matt Tubbs has given League Two Crawley the lead. 18 months ago, he was playing for Salisbury. It's Leicester 2, Swindon 0. Another League Two side, Swindon not faring quite so well. Leicester's Jermaine Beckford has scored in each half. And at lunchtime, Liverpool through to the next round, having beaten Manchester United 2 goals to 1. We'll have more on that in a moment. Their goal there, the winner rather, from Dirk Kuyt in the dying moments of the match. Millwall are trailing a goal to 0. Southampton have the lead through Ricky Lambert's 18th goal of the season in this all-championship tie. And there was another lunchtime game at Loftus Road. Chelsea came out victorious. Juan Mata converting the penalty after a dubiously awarded penalty, a collision between Sturridge and Clint Hill there. More from that on the boys later. Sheffield United 0, Birmingham 3. 3 and easy for the visitors. Nathan Redmond, Adam Rooney and Wade Elliott all scoring. Stevenage 1, Notts County 0. New Stevenage manager Gary Stevens could make history on his debut. The Hertfordshire club have never reached the fifth round. It was an own goal by Damien Stewart that's put them ahead. And West Brom 1, Norwich 1. Marc-Antoine Fortune's equaliser, cancelling out a Grant Holt strike for Norwich. But let's get more from Anfield in that lunchtime kickoff. Alice Yeomans was watching there for us.
3 minutes from time, and this was meandering towards a replay, but Liverpool put an early ball downfield. Carroll flicked it on. Dirk Kuyt got the wrong side of Evra and lashed the ball past De Gea. A miserable end to a difficult afternoon for Evra. Liverpool had taken a first-half lead. Moments after, Valencia had struck the post for United. Agger leaping high above the pack to head home Gerrard's left-sided corner. And despite more possession, United didn't equalise until 7 minutes before the interval. Raphael showed great determination to reach the byline and pull the ball back for Park, who made it first time to beat Reina. All to no avail, and what a week for Liverpool, from the dreadful doldrums of Bolton to downing blue and red colours from Manchester in 2 cup competitions.
And let's get the full details from the lunchtime kick-off at Loftus Road. Plenty for Ian Dennis to tell us about.
A controversial penalty settled this much talked about cup tie. The softest of decisions went against Clint Hill after minimal contact with Daniel Sturridge, who went to ground very easily. Mata converted the spot kick just past the hour. Chelsea dominated and controlled the game throughout. Queen's Park Rangers' best chance came in injury time when Cech pushed away Young's shot. There was no handshake ahead of the match between Anton Ferdinand and John Terry after a request by both clubs this morning for it to be cancelled, and the pair avoided each other after the final whistle as Chelsea comfortably moved into round 5.
So the story from Loftus Road, that penalty, never have been awarded?
No, it shouldn't. Clint Hill on the far post against Daniel Sturridge. That's what the penalty was given for. It's a cross in, and Daniel Sturridge is backing into Clint Hill. Goes down, minimal contact. For me, it's very, very soft. I don't know what Mike Dean's seen. He's got a good view of it. He's only about 10, 15 yards away. For me, no penalty.
It's not even a natural reaction from Daniel Sturridge either. He goes down so theatrically. It's not a natural reaction to going down from such a slight touch. I mean, I'm sorry, but in a way, he's almost
minimal contact there, and no contact ahead of the match. They just dispense completely with the pre-match handshakes. Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised. Yeah, I mean, it's a ritual that's gone on for the last couple of seasons, something they've brought into English football. So I am a little bit surprised that it was abandoned before the game today. Yeah.
And let's talk about the victory for Liverpool in that match against Manchester United. De Gea at fault again for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, if he doesn't make the mistake for the first goal, certainly Man United come away with at least a draw, and they're into the hat for the next round and a chance of going through. He just looks on occasions, I mean, he was very, very tentative and nervous today all throughout the game. It wasn't his only mistake, it was the one that he didn't get away with. But sometimes you look at him, he just looks like a little boy lost. And for that particular incident, there's all these people around him, and he's tried to go through a crowd of players.
He tried to get through Andy Carroll. It was Andy Carroll who stood alongside David De Gea for the Agger goal. And he tries to sort of come round him or through him, and he got nowhere near it. In fairness, he wasn't helped by his centre-halves. None of them jumped with Agger for the goal.
But when we saw it with Reina, when Reina came and took the ball, his defenders got out of the way, Matt, didn't they? Because they know he's going to come and get it. Man United defenders are trying to sometimes win balls that maybe the keeper should get because they don't trust him, and that's the problem they've got.
That was the difference between the two sides today, because United actually had a lot more possession. They hit the post through Valencia. So the difference between the two sides was the goalkeeper today.
OK. It's looking like Birmingham are in the hat for the next round. That's the fourth goal for them. Rooney's second of the match there at Bramall Lane. We will go there in a moment to get the details on it. But let's first of all go to Paul Addison at the KC Stadium. I think you've got the story of the day at the moment on your hands.
I certainly have, Gabby, and Crawley Town doing themselves proud here. They have done this before in the FA Cup, of course, no stranger to the odd upset. They beat Derby County last season, and they're more than holding their own this afternoon here at the KC Stadium. They're making Hull look very ordinary indeed. They lead through a 57th minute goal for Matt Tubbs. It was his 18th of the season, his 5th in the FA Cup so far. A neat finish under the body of Vito Monone, but it is Crawley who have had the majority of the chances. And just in the last couple of minutes, Sanchez Watt on loan from Arsenal should have made it 2-0 with a header. Then he should have made it 3-0. He hit the post. In response, Hull have been very, very poor indeed. Crawley could be on for another giant killing. It's Hull 0, Crawley 1.
Not that Steve Evans would see it that way. He felt they were sure to be through to the next round. 45 places between those two. So if that's a major shock, then the 21 places between Blackpool and Sheffield Wednesday, James Mason, would be something of a more minor shock at Bloomfield Road.
A minor shock, but on the evidence of today, Sheffield Wednesday deserve it if they hold on to this 1-0 lead. A second-half goal from Clinton Morrison separating these two sides, and it may yet prove enough to see the League One side into the fifth round. Both managers made a host of changes prior to kick-off, but that didn't affect the two sides. They both had a host of chances in the first half as Wednesday come close again. But early in the second half, Morrison did grab what could prove to be the match winner, seizing on a loose ball and chipping sweetly over a stranded Matt Gilks, giving the large band of away supporters dreams of a potential cup upset. With about 9 minutes to go, Gabby, it's Blackpool 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Well, it would be a fool who'd say that this match is over, Damien Johnson, but it's over, isn't it, for Sheffield United? Their cup dreams for this season at Bramall Lane?
I would have thought so, yeah. Blades blunted. That's the kind of headline I guess we can expect from this. The Championship side, Birmingham, cruising into round 5 in front of their vociferous 4,000 travelling fans. Adam Rooney's just got his second, tucking the ball away nicely after really good approach work from Birmingham City. The impressive 17-year-old Nathan Redmond fired them ahead. Rooney got in front of his marker at the near post to dispatch the second, his first of the game. United threatened to fight back briefly after the interval. Matt Loughton hit the post after Birmingham keeper Colin Doyle had denied Lee Williamson. But Wade Elliott curled in a third as United defenders backed off. And Rooney has put a gloss on it, 4-0.
Thank you very much, Damien. And a goal at Pride Park. Ivan Gaskell, which way has it gone?
Yes, until seconds ago, this was a cup tie that was very much alive, even though you feared the worst after 5 minutes when Jerome nipped in at the near post to put Stoke ahead. Derby so bright, so purposeful. They've really matched Stoke stride for stride since then. But now Stoke have added to their lead. They've doubled it and surely put it beyond doubt. Rough on Derby, but a near post corner again, and Huth was the quickest to react. 2 set pieces. Derby will be unhappy happy with that, but they've done themselves some credit. It looks like those Stokes name will be in the hat.
Last year's runners-up look like they're through to the 5th round. Let's go to the Reebok. Richard Askham there. Owen Coyle complaining his side didn't get the plaudits they deserve when they beat Liverpool in the league. Do they deserve plaudits today?
I wouldn't go that far, Gabby, but they've been the better side. The pace has certainly picked up, particularly from Bolton in this second half. They took a 2-1 lead through Chris Eagles after good work from Martin Petrov. But overall, Gabby, it's like the ebb and flow that we normally associate with fixtures involving Swansea City, who made no fewer than 10 changes to their starting lineup. Nathan Dyer, Danny Graham and Joe Allen are all on the pitch now. Haven't had a chance to make an impact as yet. Swansea, though it was, who took the lead. A lovely little dinked finish from Luke Moore, cancelled out by ex-Swansea man Darren Prattley. But overall, Bolton have had the better of it, but a poor, disjointed match so far, Gabby.
Thank you. And there are 2 games in the Championship today, and one of them has a goal. Steve May can tell us about it at London Road.
Yes, it's the 3rd goal for Portsmouth here, Gabby. It's now Peterborough 0, Portsmouth 3. All very comfortable for Portsmouth. They scored early in the first half through Eric Husklepp, and late in the first half a Jason Pearce header from a corner. Keeper Joe Lewis not distinguished himself in either episode. And now Eric Husklepp has scored his 2nd goal, turned his marker just inside the box. You knew it was going to go in. It went into the far corner, and Portsmouth now lead 3-0.
Things may be going very badly wrong off the pitch, but on it today, Portsmouth obviously have got the magic touch, and that was a lovely goal.
That was a great finish. A terrible defender again, as has been all afternoon for Peterborough. They're on a poor run. They've never, ever been in this game. You won't get a more comfortable afternoon for Pompey all season.
Wonderful finish, though, from Husklepp, that last one. I mean, it was lifted over the top.
Last 3, that would be their last 4 in all competitions.
Yeah, no, they are struggling. They're falling down the table. I mean, they're making a better fist of life in the Championship this time around than they did 2 years ago, but they're certainly finding life difficult in the last month or so.
Yeah.
OK, let's go to Steve Lee now at the Hawthorns. Another all-Premier League 4th round FA Cup match. Give us the details, Steve.
Yes, it's West Brom 1, Norwich 1 at the moment. Pretty much a rerun of the Premier League fixture here a fortnight ago. Grant Holt getting the first Norwich goal. The first goal, incidentally, scored by that team against Albion in the FA Cup. He walked the ball into the net after a terrific cross from Elliot Bennett. And that was after West Brom had all the early chances. Albion drew level in the second half after Russell Martin lost possession on the byline. Jerome Thomas squared the ball back to Fortune, who made no mistake. Now, if the script follows the league game, Norwich should grab the winner. But this game's still wide open. Holt's gone off. Wilbraham and Simeon Jackson have come on for Norwich. West Brom have brought on Shane Long, but no side has got the winner just yet. It's 1-1.
Thank you. Now, League One game there that is producing a lot of goals this afternoon. Gary Alexander's now got a hat-trick on 81 minutes. It's Brentford 5, Wycombe 2. We'll go and chat to Jonathan Ledyard about the details of some of those goals. We've missed a few, I think, the last time we spoke to him. 3 have gone in. But let's go to the King Power Stadium, League 2, Swindon. Still technically in the FA Cup, Andrew James?
Yes, they are, but it's really been about Jermaine Beckford today. 2 goals from him, Gabby, 1 in each half, right at the start of the first, and again early on in the second from him, have really settled this match. Just under 20,000 here, 4,000 of those from Swindon. And you have to feel sorry for them because their side have never really been out of it, and they felt that they should have had an advantage at least towards the end of the first half when Paul Konchesky was guilty of a dreadful tackle, but somehow only saw yellow, not red for that. Leicester then got that second goal through Beckford on the restart, and it's been hard work for Paolo Di Canio's men ever since. We've been keeping a close eye on Paolo Di Canio. He's got an FA disciplinary hearing, his second of the season on Monday, after being sent off 3 times. He's been calm so far, but I have to say the cauldron is beginning to boil. It's 2-0 to Leicester.
I can only imagine. There's a goal at the Den. Mark Webber.
The sigh of relief from the locals, as strong as the wind that's been bracing the Docklands this afternoon. Darius Henderson has got the equaliser. Like the big bad wolf, they've huffed and they've puffed all afternoon, but they've not been able to knock the door down. As a result, Southampton sneaked one with a great Ricky Lambert header. Take nothing away from the header in the 20th minute. But you look at the possession facts on this, and they had a lot of possession, Millwall, and they're unable to do anything about it until now. I now have a game on. 1-1.
Thank you very much, Mark. Well, Sheffield Wednesday have the lead, so there could be that League One side in the hat for the next round. There'll definitely be at least one in the hat, Jackie Oatley, because Stevenage and Notts County playing it out at the Lannex. How's it going?
It's still Stevenage 1, Notts County 1, thanks to that early own goal from Damien Stewart after good work by Luke Freeman. But Notts County have really stepped up in this second half. They were awful in the first half. Chris Day, the goalkeeper, saved well from Alan Judge and Lee Hughes of Notts County. But Hughes is very lucky to still be on the pitch. Just a few moments ago, he was booked, and then shortly after that, the referee blew with the flag having gone up for offside, and Hughes decided to take the shot anyway. And the referee, Neil Swarbrick, extremely lenient. And you can just imagine how upset Gary Smith would be if Lee Hughes was to go on and score an equaliser. There have been two clear-cut chances for Stevenage in the second half. Darius Charles could have doubled Stevenage's lead. He headed one over the bar and he clipped the outside of the post. It's Stevenage 1, Notts County 0 with 6 minutes to go.
As Steve Lee reminded us a couple of weeks ago, Norwich nicked it late in this fixture in the Premier League at the Hawthorns. Oh, they've done it again, have they?
Yeah, just call me Nostradamus. It's West Brom 1, Norwich 2, and with 5 minutes to go, an awful mistake by the West Brom defender Craig Dawson. He dithered on the ball, he lost it. Simeon Jackson, the sub, nipped in 2-1 to Norwich, and the 3,500 who've made the trip from East Anglia enjoying every minute of it. West Brom 1, Norwich 2.
There's still a few minutes to go, and I don't know how long on the clock at the KC. Paul Addison.
3 minutes left, Gabby, for Crawley Town to win here this afternoon, and they're holding on because Hull, as you would expect, are starting to pile on the pressure, and the Tigers just had a brilliant shout for a penalty. Looked to be a handball in there amongst a melee of players, but the linesman on this near side didn't give it. Hull will feel aggrieved at that. They're on the attack now, but Crawley are still hanging on. Off the field, it got a bit spicy about 10 minutes ago on the touchline when a member of each team's backroom staff was ordered up into the stand. Not quite sure what went on there, but it's getting very exciting for Crawley here. Not long to go now, 2 and a bit minutes left, and they lead Hull by 1-0.
Thank you, Paul. We can fill those 2 minutes just by Jonathan Ledyard telling us about all the goals that have gone in at Griffin Park since the last time we spoke.
Yes, what were we talking about? A Wickham comeback? 4-1. Diaragaraga for Brentford. Then Ben Strevens in the right place for a lucky deflection to make it 4-2. Then we've just had Gary Alexander. Wonderful volley straight from the Steve Claridge manual for number 5. And just before that, Douglas hit the post for Brentford. Do you want me to keep going? 5-2. Good play by Brentford. Wickham, I think we can safely say now there's no comeback here.
I can hear fat ladies singing. Let's go to Bloomfield Road. James Mason, a Sheffield Wednesday hanging on.
They are hanging on, Gabby, by the skin of their teeth. We're into time added on. And all but one player, that's the Blackpool goalkeeper, are in the Sheffield Wednesday half. In fact, almost in their box now. Sheffield Wednesday are looking to progress to the 5th round of the FA Cup for the second time. Oh, goodness me, a penalty has been given to Blackpool. And it looks a soft one as well. Gary Taylor-Fletcher, the substitute, the captain now of Blackpool on the field, has gone down under a clumsy challenge. You may want to come back to me. A penalty to Blackpool.
James, we will do just that. We're going to check in first of all the Reebok. A Bolton hanging on, Richard Askham. Are they through for you?
They probably are, Gabby, although Swansea have a very dangerous position, a free kick just outside the box that Bolton are going to have to deal with. But Bolton doing just about enough to keep Swansea at bay, who with Danny Graham and Nathan Dyer on the pitch are now throwing everything at Bolton. Here comes a free kick, swung in right-footed. Ashley Williams with the free kick, but well collected by Adam Bogdan. I think Bolton have probably done just enough, Gabby.
Let's go back to James Mason at Bloomfield Road as Blackpool line up for a very important penalty.
And it will be Kevin Phillips to take the penalty. Kevin Phillips back in the side today, the striker. Could be his last season in English football. He's scored 7 goals for Blackpool so far this season. He's now scored his 8th, doesn't even celebrate. So in time added on, this is probably unfair actually on Sheffield Wednesday, who've probably shaded the better parts of this match and had the better chances. So we've got maybe 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. Who knows what the referee will add on, but it's now Blackpool 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Can Crawley do what Sheffield Wednesday couldn't? Are they clinging on at the KC? And are you on Dan Walker watch, Paul Addison?
I can't quite see him, but I'm sure I will at the full-time whistle if it stays like this. Crawley still leading by 1-0. We're into the first of 4 minutes of added on time. Steve Evans, the Crawley manager, is making substitution after substitution. I bet he wish he could make about 12 just to eat into the time here. But I have to be honest and say that Crawley are dealing with this exceptionally exceptionally well. They're still on the attack. They're still trying to get their second goal, not holding back at all. And Hull, at the risk of making me sound silly in a minute or so, are looking like a spent force. Crawley is still 1-0 up.
There's plenty of late drama around the place, though. Let's go to the Den. Any there, Mark Webber?
No other goals. We're still 1-1. Millwall seemingly earning a replay despite missing a bucket load of chances, some, to be honest with you, which have graced Twickenham or the Super Bowl. They were really that bad. Ricky Lambert's header is worthy of talking about. We'll do that later. A Southampton corner now. 3 minutes of injury time. We'll see what happens. 1-1.
I imagine West Bromwich Albion must be very deflated after that 85th minute goal for Norwich. Steve Lee, are they getting back into this? Are they endeavouring to get that goal?
Well, they've had a couple of really good chances that have been cleared by the Norwich defence. We're playing 5 minutes of added time after that Simeon Jackson goal. Looked like it's given Norwich this tie. We've had the ball scrambled around the Norwich box. There's another attack coming in now. Oh, and that's saved excellently by the Norwich keeper, Jed Steer. So at the moment, Norwich hanging on for a place in the 5th round.
And it's all over at the Den, Mark Webber, although it's not all over because they're both going to be in the hat for the next round.
No, they'll have to do it all again at some stage. Millwall 1, Southampton 1. Millwall pushing all the time, but their finishing was absolutely awful. That allowed Ricky Lambert in to make it 1-0 for Southampton with a great, well-taken header. But then at the other end, Darius Henderson, just a few moments ago, a lovely bit of class, hit his chest, he turned, he shot, it went in. Millwall 1, Southampton 1.
And let's go back to Paul Addison at the KC Stadium.
We've got, Gabby, 30 seconds, a minute and 30 seconds rather left. It's dark in the KC Stadium press box, can't see the clock. Crawley got a free kick on the halfway line, just had a bit of a scare. Hull throwing from the left-hand side, and it was cleared. And then a free kick from Hull, launched in by Vito Manone, their keeper. And the Crawley keeper, Scott Shearer, just came to the edge of the area, in amongst about 20 players, and collected as comfortably as you like. Crawley are now just over a minute away from a giant killing here. They lead 1-0.
21 places between Sheffield United and Birmingham City, but Damien Johnson at Bramall Lane, it was just too big a mountain for United to climb.
Yeah, comfortable in the end. 2 goals from striker Adam Rooney helped ease Birmingham into round 5, but it was 17-year-old Nathan Redmond who caught the eye with his electric feet reminiscent of a young Cristiano Ronaldo. He swept in the opener from 12 yards. Rooney stole a march on his marker to dispatch a second at the near post. United briefly threatened to make a game of it at the start of the second half. Matt Loughton hit the post, but Wade Elliott broke clear to curl in a third, and Rooney tucked away a 4th goal to finish a stylish Birmingham move. Sheffield United 0, Birmingham 4.
Full time at the Reebok Stadium. Richard Askham has all the details.
Yes, a match almost decided when the team sheets were handed out. Swansea's 10 changes, denying them their normal fluency. And although Danny Graham, Nathan Dyer and Joe Allen all came on, by then the pattern was set. The Swans did take the lead against the run of play. A lovely deft finish from Luke Moore, cancelled out by ex-Swansea man Darren Prattley's header. Bolton, with just a trio of changes, did most of the pressing and fashioned a lead through Chris Eagles, Martin Petrov the provider. Graham's header struck a post late on, but a match low on quality was won by the side who perhaps wanted it more.
Thanks, Richard. Let's go to Pride Park. No shocks for you today, Ivan Gaskell.
No, but it perhaps doesn't reflect what happened here today. Stoke took the lead in 5 minutes and put the tie beyond reach with 10 to go, but that doesn't reflect the 75 minutes or so in between when, for long periods, to be fair to them, Derby more than matched their neighbours from a few miles west along the A50. Bright, purposeful football. Derby supplied in abundance. All that was missing, though, was that crucial bit, the finish. Instead, the Premier League side it was who showed them how to do that. Jerome early, Huth late. Though Derby will perhaps feel disappointed they succumb to set-piece situations. Though in fairness, when it comes to Stoke, they're not alone. In the end, for Stoke City, job done.
Well, is it job done for Crawley? Paul Addison, 45 places, the biggest gulf in the 4th round at the KC Stadium. Are Steve Evans' men going to make it through to the 5th round?
They've just done it. The final whistle has gone here, Gabby, at the KC Stadium. The biggest shock of the day, and Matt Tubbs is the toast of Crawley Town this evening. The Red Devils got to the 5th round last year when they lost to Manchester United at Old Trafford very narrowly. Well, they've reached the 5th round again this season, as well well as being on course for promotion to League One. And every single player involved in a red shirt this afternoon should be extremely proud of the performance they put in. They've made Hull City, riding high in the playoff places in the Championship, look a very, very ordinary team indeed. The crucial moment, 57 minutes, Matt Tubbs with his 18th goal of the season, a terrific finish under the body of Vito Manone. Hull had nothing in reply, and a special word for the Red Devils goalkeeper Scott Shearer, who pulled off several good saves when Hull actually made some efforts, but they were few and far between. Crawley Town will be rocking tonight. They're through to the 5th round. They've beaten Hull by 1-0.
Well done, Crawley. Let's go to Bloomfield Road. James Mason has the full-time whistle there and all the details for us.
It's ended Blackpool 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. A penalty in time added on from Kevin Phillips cruelly denied Sheffield Wednesday a place in the 5th round after the League One side led for most of the second half. Clinton Morrison scored what looked like the winner early in the second half as a striker reacted quickly to a loose ball on the edge of the area, chipping the ball over Matt Gilk before racing towards a large away following, dreaming of a cup upset, but it wasn't to be as Blackpool pushed everybody forward and their endeavour paid off as Gary Taylor-Fletcher was brought down and Phillips dispatched the spot kick, meaning the sides will play again. It ended Blackpool 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
And it was another smash and grab for Norwich at the Hawthorns. They'd never scored against West Brom in the FA Cup, Steve Lee, before today.
Yes, they made up for it today. West Brom 1, Norwich 2. Deja vu for Norwich, deja vu for Albion. Norwich won here by exactly the same score 2 weeks ago in the Premier League. And this FA Cup tie followed the identical pattern. Grant Holt's 9th of the season gave Norwich the lead just before half-time. West Brom struck back through Marc-Antoine Fortuné after the break. And as in the league game, Norwich grabbed a late winner. A terrible mistake from Albion defender Craig Dawson. He dithered and Simeon Jackson stole it and he scored in front of the jubilant 3,500 Norwich fans. Joy then for the yellow and green. The baggies deflated. They've been here before. West Brom 1, Norwich 2.
And in the Championship match at London Road, both these sides had lost their last 3 coming into this, Steve May, but Portsmouth with a morale-boosting win.
Yes, and there are a couple of thousand very happy Portsmouth fans away to my left-hand side. Eric Husklepp scoring early in the first half. Bit of a goal-mouth scramble, in fact, but the second late in the second half, absolutely cracking goal. Well taken after turning his man. In between, Jason Pearce headed in a left-wing corner. But while Joe Lewis, the Peterborough keeper, has had an afternoon here to forget, Stephen Henderson at the other end only really had to make his first real save of the game midway through the second half. Peterborough now 6 Championship games without a win. It's Portsmouth's second away win of the season. I don't those Portsmouth fans over to my left know it.
It's all over at the Lamex and Jackie Oatley. Steve Smith, what a brilliant debut for Stevenage.
Exactly. Well, Gary Smith's first game since taking over from Graham Wesley, and he has taken Stevenage into the last 16 of the FA Cup for the first time in their history. Damien Stewart's early own goal proved to be the only goal, and Notts County awful in the first half, much better in the second. Judge, Lee Hughes and Stewart himself going so close in a frantic finish, but up the other end, Stevenage had plenty of chances themselves, not least Laurie Wilson right with the last kick of the game, somehow blasting wide with only the keeper to beat. A fantastic game, not through quality, but through FA Cup entertainment. It's finished Stevenage 1, Notts County 0.
Sorry, Gary Smith, of course, mate of yours, isn't he?
Yes, he is actually. Yeah, no,
good start for him.
Yes, very good.
Stevenage Steve, that's what it was.
That's
the old
the
brain. One. Yeah. Let's go. It's been a long afternoon. Let's go to the Majewski now. Full time there, Mark Bishop.
Reading 1, Bristol City 0. Fairy tale start for the highly experienced Jason Roberts on his debut for Reading, scoring from the penalty spot on his second attempt on the rebound after City's captain Lewis Carey was given a straight red for bringing down Roberts. Reading about to be officially under the new Russian ownership, denied in the first half by David James again, who put his body on the line to deny Antonio. James with some terrific saves today. Adamoah hit the crossbar for Bristol City, and then a penalty, a second penalty for Reading. This time Thomas Cheska, another new signing, this time from Derby County, brought down. Muckenough stepped up, terrific penalty. What a save from James, tipping the ball away for a corner kick. Terrific game. It's ended Reading 1, Bristol City 0.
2 saves today. James for England? Don't worry, I'm not going to put you on the spot. Let's go to the King Power Stadium now. It's all over there, Andrew James. It wasn't Di Canio's day today.
No, it wasn't. Leicester City 2, Swindon Town 0. But significantly, right at the final whistle just a few moments ago, Gabby, a huge hug between two former West Ham stalwarts, Di Canio and Paul Konchesky. And that's significant, really, because Konchesky saw yellow at the end of the first half for a challenge which, on many other occasions this season, would have been red. At that point, Leicester were already 1-0 to the good through Jermaine Beckford's first goal of the afternoon. But Swindon went on to have the better of the first half. But straight after the restart, Beckford scored again. That's now 5 goals for him in 3 FA Cup matches this season. Scored a hat-trick, of course, against Forest in the third round replay. And Leicester just hung on, really. Swindon lost a bit of their fizz. Leicester did have chances to score through Nugent and St Ledger, to be fair. So Leicester comfortably through. But Paolo Di Canio now off to celebrate with his Swindon fans in front of their 4,000 travelling contingent, celebrating a good FA Cup run. Perhaps better times for them to come. And he, of course, has an FA disciplinary hearing on Monday. He's behaved very well today, is the notice to give to the men at the FA.
I'm sure Nigel Pearson has, and we should probably take our cap off to him too. And well done, Leicester, into the 5th round. Let's go to St James's Park, a League One match there. Hamish Marshall was watching, and it was a good day for Charlton.
It was. They beat Exeter by a 1-0. They saw this game as a potential banana skin, but they avoided slipping up, although they had to work hard for it. The win comes courtesy of a goal which has been credited to Danny Green, but his cross from the right was really helped into the Exeter net by keeper Arthur Krychek. That's 4 wins in a row for Chris Powell's side. They've now gone 7 hours without conceding, and that's seen them extend the lead at the top of the table to 9 points.
And Huddersfield, of course, in 2nd place as we headed into today's matches. They were at Prenton Park. Alan Biggs is watching.
It's finished Tranmere Rovers 1, Huddersfield Town 1. It might look like a missed opportunity for the Terriers to cement 2nd place more commandingly than this. In fact, it was very much a point gained for them, and maybe a couple dropped for a dominant Tranmere, who had to come back from behind, but only because of the inevitable, prolific Jordan Rhodes, who with 1 touch, 1 chance, scored in the 49th minute, his 29th of the season, 35 in all competitions, but deservedly levelled by Tranmere by Adam McGurk's header just a couple of minutes later. Tranmere had the better opportunities to win it. It's finished 1 apiece.
Thank you very much, Alan. Parish notice for you now. On Tuesday, we have a special midweek match of the day with Gary and the boys, featuring all the night's Premier League action, followed by a transfer deadline day roundup with Dan Walker, if we can scrape him off the ceiling after that Crawley win. That's 10:35 on BBC One. And don't forget, we're on the red button and the HD channel from 2:30 pretty much every Saturday, as well as the BBC Sports website, so you can't really miss us. No excuses. Let's get the full classified results now with Mike West.
Starting with the 4th round of the FA Cup with Budweiser. Blackpool 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Bolton Wanderers 2, Swansea City 1. Brighton and Hove Albion against Newcastle United is an evening kick-off at 5:15. Derby County 0, Stoke City 2. Hull City 0, Crawley Town 1. Leicester City 2, Swindon Town 0. Liverpool 2, Manchester United 1. Millwall 1, Southampton 1. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Chelsea 1. Sheffield United 0, Birmingham City 4. Stevenage 1, Notts County 0. And West Bromwich Albion 1, Norwich City 2. In the Empire Championship, Peterborough United 0, Portsmouth 3. And Reading 1, Bristol City 0. On to the Empire League One, Brentford 5, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Exeter City 0, Charlton Athletic 1. Hartlepool United 4, Carlisle United 0. Leyton Orient 0, Colchester United 1. Rochdale 3, Bury 0. Tranmere Rovers 1, Huddersfield Town 1. And Yeovil Town 2, Preston North End 1. The Empire League 2, Accrington Stanley 4, Gillingham 3. AFC Wimbledon 1, Aldershot Town 2. Barnet 2, Crewe Alexandra 0. Bristol Rovers 2, Bradford City 1. Dagenham and Redbridge 3, Rotherham United 2. Hereford Town 0, Shrewsbury Town 2. Macclesfield Town 1, Cheltenham Town 3. Port Vale 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. And Torquay United 1, Northampton Town 0. The Blue Square Bet Premier, Braintree Town 1, Barrow 0. Cambridge United 0, Tamworth 1. Darlington 2, York City 2. Ebbsfleet United 0, Mansfield Town 3. Forest Green Rovers 1, Fleetwood Town 2. Gateshead 2, Newport County 3. Grimsby Town 2, AFC Telford United 0. Hayes and Yeading United 0. Southport 2. Kettering Town 1, Lincoln City 0. Luton Town 1, Alfreton Town 0. Stockport County 2, Kidderminster 1. And Wrexham 2, Bath City 0. The Scottish Communities League Cup, Ayr United 0, Kilmarnock 1. That result after extra time. The game had finished 0-0 after 90 minutes. On to the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League. Aberdeen 1, Dunfermline 0. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0, St Mirren 0. Motherwell 3, St Johnstone 2. And Rangers 4, Hibernian 0. The Iron Brew Scottish Division 1, the game between Hamilton Academical and Raith Rovers, match postponed. Queen of the South 2, Greenock Morton 1. And Ross County 3, Livingston 0. The Scottish Division 2, Airdrie United 4, Stirling Albion 1. The games between Brecon City and Arbroath, Cowdenbeath and Albion Rovers, and Forfar Athletic and Dumbarton all postponed. And Stenhousemuir 1, East Fife 0. The Scottish Division 3, Alloa Athletic 2, Montrose 0. Annan Athletic 2, East Stirlingshire 2. The game between Clyde and Berwick Rangers, match postponed. Peterhead 2, Queen's Park 1. And Stranraer 5, Elgin City 2. Finally, the Carling Premiership, Carrick 3, Cliftonville 3. And Donegal Celtic 1, Glenavon 1.
Let's have a little look at the tables then. Well, Reading were the only team in the top half of the Championship in action today, and their 1-0 win over Bristol City means they jump from 8th up to 4th. West Ham still leading the division. Southampton and Cardiff, who meet at St Mary's on Tuesday, 2nd and 3rd. At the bottom, the bottom three had the weekend off, so there's no change in the relegation zone. Bristol City stay 19th after that defeat at Reading. Portsmouth beat Peterborough to move above the Posh into 16th. To League One, Charlton have extended their lead at the top to 9 points after they won, and second place Huddersfield could only draw. None of the teams in the playoff places were in league action today. 7th place Carlisle failed to take advantage, losing at Hartlepool. Brentford won to move above Bournemouth, who lost at Chesterfield last night. At the bottom, the win for Chesterfield lifted them off the bottom, and it's Wickham who now prop up the table. Rochdale won to move up to 22nd. Yeovil leapt out of the relegation zone. They're up to 18th place. And to League Two, with Southend and Crawley not in league action this weekend. Cheltenham have capitalised and they top the table for the first time this season. Shrewsbury also won to move closer to the automatic promotion places, while Torquay swapped places with Swindon. Of course, they were in FA Cup action. At the bottom, Northampton remain bottom, a point adrift of Plymouth. Dagenham and Redbridge move out of the relegation zone after earning their first win of the year. And to the SPL, the leaders Celtic are in Scottish League Cup semi-final action tomorrow. Rangers took full advantage of that. They've cut the gap on their title rivals to 1 point. Motherwell beat St Johnstone to keep up the chase in the top two. At the bottom, Dunfermline lost for the 15th time this season. They stay rock bottom. The only consolation for the Paras is that Hibernian also lost and remain just a point ahead of them. And the Blue Square Premier table now, a winning goal in the 4th minute of stoppage time keeps Fleetwood on top of the table. And let's talk a little bit about the FA Cup today, and in particular Crawley. First of all, I think we should give them special mention. 45 places between them and Hull. That's a big win, isn't it?
Huge win. Yeah, huge win. I mean, Matt Tubbs on the score sheet again. He's 18th of the season. It's no wonder that there's clubs interested in him and trying to prize him away in this January transfer window. I know our old club Bournemouth are a team that are very keen on taking him, but they've got money, Crawley, and they'll be hoping now to get another big fixture like last season when they
won't get Man United again. Steve Evans was hoping for that. Obviously, both Manchester clubs are now out of the FA Cup. Liverpool and Chelsea, probably either of those would do nicely for Steve Evans.
Well, they're becoming synonymous with cup runs, aren't they? They don't mind knocking a championship out of this cup. I think remember Derby last year, wasn't it? Along with Swindon. So they're a good side. I think they've proved now that they're a good side. He's bought good players through the summer. There's no surprise they're doing well in the league. And to be honest, you know, if Hull, from what we heard, maybe weren't quite at their best, then Crawley aside are not going to let you get away with that.
So much anticipation of both those Premier League matchups today, the Liverpool and the QPR game. And from what we hear, the atmosphere was very good at Anfield as well. The crowd was, you know, really into the spirit of the day. The interviews afterwards as well were also without incident, which all bodes well. It's good. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, there's a lot of pre-match tension for both matches, wasn't there? And luckily, you know, both of them, it seems, have gone through unscathed and all fine. But yeah, I mean, I thought David De Gea was the difference really between Liverpool and Man United. I thought it was disappointing, not at his best at all today. And the difference between QPR and Chelsea was a penalty that shouldn't have been. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, all the players seemed as if they got it right today, didn't they? It looked as if it was played... Bit of booing for Evra. Yeah, I mean, it seemed as if it was played in the right spirit. It was played competitively. There's no doubt about that. But also I think the players played it in the right way. So be absolutely no headlines about that because it was good news, wasn't it? So, but it's nice to see that for once, you know, the players and the football as a whole, we probably got it right today. And interesting with, you know, Liverpool and Chelsea not making the kind of headlines they'd like in the Premier League. The FA Cup could be a good release for them. Liverpool had a great week, generally. You know, last week against Bolton, it was so disappointing. Ken Dalglish was scathing in public of his side. And then this week, they've beaten Man City and knocked them out of the Carling Cup and beaten United this weekend, so it's been a terrific week for them. Yeah, we said before, it's been a long time since Liverpool won a trophy, so it's 2006, about time they rectified that. Let's have a look at the goals and incidents from the Championship today. Just the two matches. The first and the Majeski, Reading and Bristol City. Jason Roberts making making it known to the fans there that he's very much part of the team. Yeah, it was Lewis Carey, and he was sent off for the incident as well. You know, Jason Roberts did really well. He backed into him, rolled him. You just wonder whether the covering defender may well have got a block on it, but it's a goal-scoring opportunity. The penalty's a poor one. David James saves it, and then, I mean, it's a scrappy rebound as well. He didn't really know it had gone in, I don't think. Simon Church fouled there. They get another penalty just before the end of the game. Yeah, I mean, this is a slightly better quality penalty, but it's a fantastic save from David James. And world-class save there. Still really, really athletic. He obviously looks after himself very, very well. Win. Gets across well. Big win for Reading that today as well, wasn't it? Yeah. One of your old sides, Portsmouth, up against Peterborough at London Road. I'd said before, they both lost their last 3 games as well heading into this, Steve. Yeah, no, they were very good today, Portsmouth. Right from the start, I mean, you can see a little bit of a scrappy goal. Joe Lewis might have done better with that, but from then on in, I think it was after 5 or 6 minutes, in complete control. Never at any stage did Peterborough look as if they would get back into it. Second goal there from Jason Pearce, and they were comfortable after. Just look at the league table quickly, because obviously with what's happening off the pitch, you know, they might get deducted 10 points. Well, that would still, with this win, they would still be outside of the relegation zone. So just to keep that in mind as we go forward. It was a good win today. Yeah, Husklepp again with the third goal there, and I thought it was a brilliant finish. I mean, Joe Lewis was at fault, I think, for the first goal. Not a lot he could have done with the second and third, but he's under a bit of pressure. He had a couple of mistakes last week, and unfortunately another one today. OK, thanks, guys. Well, the Football League show is on tonight for your enjoyment with Manish. That's at 5... Sorry, it's not. It's 11:45. Actually, all the goals from the Football League and all the incidents there. Tomorrow morning, Rafa Nadal against Novak Djokovic in the final of the Australian Open. Live coverage starting at 8:15 on BBC Two and the HD channel. I think it'll be another classic between those two. And later on, there's the best of the week's action from Sheffield, the European Figure Skating Championships. That's 1 o'clock on BBC Two. Of course, 2 ties tomorrow. Arsenal in action against Aston Villa, and then there's the small matter of a derby between Sunderland and Middlesbrough as well. 2 juicy ties.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal, that's not an easy tie for Arsenal. I think particularly with Robbie Keane, who seems to be a great fit for Aston Villa. And I think Middlesbrough, going to Sunderland in the form they're in, you would expect them to probably win that.
Middlesbrough just off the boil as well.
Will go strong for that game, I know.
Middlesbrough have got Nicky Bailey out injured, who I played with at Charlton, and he's a big loss for them. I think he's been excellent for them. Guys, enjoyed your company very much this afternoon in your avocado and aubergine shirts. Don't forget to have your say on 6:06 5 Live with Mark Chapman and Jason Roberts at 7:05 tonight. He's had an interesting afternoon with Reading and his debut today, hasn't he? That's it from all of us. I'm off to cover the Six Nations for a few weeks now, so Chappers will be in the chair next Saturday. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.